Hey, welcome to another Poland vlog. In this one, we are going to hang out in two beautiful cities by the sea. We are going to explore the mixed-race Polish experience and just life in Poland in general. Gdańsk. Oh, how pretty. How can you be so cold in your jacket? This ship is called Czarna Perła, Black Pearl. It definitely stands out amongst the other ships and boats. It's inspired by and stylized as the one from Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, adding a theatrical, almost cinematic feel to this Polish harbour. There is definitely something about seeing it here in Gdańsk, bold, dark and impossible not to notice. It feels both out of place and completely at home at the same time. As a mixed-race Polish woman, I can relate to this in so many ways, as you can imagine. Another person who I would think could relate is Władysław Franciszek Jabłonowski, the first mulatto general in the Polish army, a historical figure. In the comments under my last community post, one of you said that you enjoy hearing about Polish history from my perspective. I'm not much of a historian, but I'm happy to share glimpses into Polish history that capture my attention. The life of Władysław Franciszek Jabłonowski is one of those glimpses. I think he's perfect for this vlog because he was born in Gdańsk, the very city we are in now. He was the illegitimate son of a Polish noblewoman, the result of her affair with a black man. Yet her husband, a Polish nobleman, who was also known to be a cheater, by the way, still acknowledged and raised him as his own son. In 18th century Poland, that's quite something, I would say. Born in 1769, Władysław went on to become a Polish military officer. Again, he's considered the first general of mixed black and white heritage in Polish history, serving in the French Revolutionary Army. He also fought in the Kościuszko uprising, before eventually dying of yellow fever in 1802, during the Haitian Revolution. You might want to look him up. His story is quite unusual, just like the presence of Czarna Perła, the Black Pearl, in the Gdańsk harbour. This is how cold I am. My hands are red. We were able to get the small one. It was super cold in Gdańsk that day, so I decided to have a warm beer with syrup. It really helped to reheat my body. If you are watching this from the UK or the US, warm beer might sound like a mistake, but it's not. It's actually a thing in Poland, especially in winter. It's also much tastier than cold beer, if you ask me, especially with a little bit of syrup. Okay, so I just went to the shop and I don't know how many times today I've heard that I speak beautifully in Polish, that I speak Polish beautifully. I just say thank you, dziękuję. I don't even explain myself anymore. But then the lady asked me if I'm from Argentina. I'm like, no, I'm not. My mom was Polish, my dad's Nigerian.
Yeah, so that was one of the things that I was kind of running away from when it comes to moving away from Poland, having to answer these questions all the time.
Let me tell you, I am glad that we still use this water in Poland, rather than the euro. The currency just feels like part of the country's identity. Poland, with this water, feels a little more homely to me. Hey you guys, I am in Sopot and it's really cold. That's why I allow my hair to be like this, even though it's dry as hay. So let me just explain myself. When I was flying in from London to Poland, they confiscated my oil. Apparently they said it was like 115 mil. I thought it was under 100, so I just kept it in my bag. And then they confiscated it. I have not been able to find an oil that works for me just yet. So yeah, so this is what it is for now. My hair looks crazy, but it is so cold. Like, don't be deceived by the sun. It's really sunny, but it's really cold in Poland still, even though it's the 10th of April. So I let it out so that I can feel warmer while I'm outside. Yeah, despite the fact that it does look like and feels like, hey, I need to put some oil on it. I know, don't tell me anything I already know. The smell of this oil is heavenly. It's not the right one for my hair though. You guys, I'll be honest, my hair has changed. Let me wait. My hair has changed In the last few years, it has changed. I guess age, hormonal stuff, it changes your hair. But I feel like it's more dry than it's ever been before. And also, oh God, the smell is so beautiful. The way this smells is just, oh my God, I love it. But it does not feel like it's the right oil for my hair. I don't know. I just don't know what to use anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. And then my hair has different lengths. Like here it's kind of short, then here it's longer, then here it's even longer, and I just don't know what's going on anymore. I just don't know. If you have any ideas, if you're like a unruly hair expert, just tell me what to do, because I feel like my hair and I are strangers lately. I don't know why. It just wouldn't do the thing. But the smell of this oil is just beautiful. Hi guys, I am in Poland. I've just made a new friend, Agnieszka. Agnieszka is she's an archaeologist and an anthropologist. Those are big words. And we've been talking about things. We met at, jak to się nazywa to miejsce?
Spatif.
We met at Spatif, which is like a jazz club. She was so kind, invited me to sit next to her. And we've been talking, and she said something so interesting. So let me just pass it on to her so she can tell you what she said. Okay.
Well, we were discussing my very limited knowledge of archaeology in Africa, and well, I mentioned about it because we also touched upon the somewhat dark past in anthropology. Because our current understanding, and this is the way I also understand humanities, and especially in context of archaeology and anthropology, is that the science teaches us that we have all common origins, and we are all coming from Africa. And if anything, it teaches us that there is no scientific fundamentals, there is no scientific explanation that sometimes humans hear that it comes to explain weird differences between the races. There is no scientific explanations for any of that. So
are you saying that we are not that different, that we are pretty much the same or very similar, if anything?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. We are all coming. We are all representatives of the same species, which is the Homo sapiens.
This is so powerful. And you are talking from the scientific perspective, right? We are not...
Yes, we are all, like, to me, there is no biological explanation for something that we call race. It doesn't really exist in terms of science, in terms of biology. we are all coming from the same species, so we are all Homo sapiens, and this is truly really what it matters. Like, we share the same genetic components, we are all the same people. There is no other explanation for it. So yeah,
So basically, race is a construct of.
it's a cultural construct. This is how we understand phonetic differences between us.
Wow, this is so powerful. We've just resolved.
I really wish we would. I really wish we
Wow.
do. And I think the issue, the problem is that we tend to misunderstand science, and we tend to explain science with culture. The way we describe science is cultural. So we still struggle to make sense out of it. That's why these very vicious ideologies, they still exist. Because
we were talking about certain people or even communities trying to say that some races are superior. This happens in white communities. This happens in black communities. This happens in mixed communities. I have to say, unfortunately, there is no scientific basis for that, right? That's what you're saying.
No, there is none. This is just this all, in my understanding of it, it comes from the differences of how we perceive our own realities, and how we attach certain values to our principles. So no, there is no such thing as something is like a race that is superior or inferior. It doesn't exist, and there is no scientific fundamentals that even that would suggest that this is just simply not how it goes nowadays. Now, is this to say that the origins of anthropology, they are deeply rooted in colonialism and in the racism, but we have come a long way since back in the day, and right now the big challenge in those sciences is just to prove our legacy wrong.
And also, you also said it would be great to get more minorities involved in these sciences.
This is what I have observed because I had the privilege to study abroad. I did studies in France, and I did studies in Netherlands, and also like a short exchange semester in Sweden. And it was always very interesting to me to notice that we have faculties that are focused on archaeology of Africa, archaeology of Pacific regions or Caribbean regions or West Indies, so we have those, and if somebody's interested, they can study them in Europe. It's still dominated by white people, and
they are taught by white people, right? And the books are. What about the books?
I think this might be changing a little bit, hopefully. But what I would say is that our faculties in Europe are that I would strongly encourage the people of color to study archaeology and anthropology, because I think those sciences would only benefit from the perspective of the people who are.
What about the stories? What impact does that have on the stories of Africa and Africans?
For example, so like for example, I did study a little bit, for example, of Bantu migration. For those who knew, we think that Bantu sort of invented African Iron Age. But I could spend my years dedicated to studying Bantu migrations, but I'm not Bantu and I don't speak any of the Bantu languages, so my views of that are still extremely limited. And I also mentioned earlier that like I said, I have very limited knowledge of anything that's related to African archaeology. But what I also could understand from my very small size of knowledge is that the way, for example, we understand history, the way we understand time, even the way that we see
Eurocentric.
Yeah, but also like in the terms of like our cognitive ideas of what we would see like a time flying, you know?
Okay.
It's different somehow. I can't really explain this because again,
Does that have to?
I never lived that. But I would say, yeah, that there's a different understanding to it, and I can study this from like a scholar. I'm not so sure if I can really live it.
I really appreciate. I feel like you should be commended for acknowledging those limitations. I think the biggest problem is when scientists, specialists, experts do not acknowledge the fact that they cannot fully understand the experience. So I think that's huge, for you to say, this is what I know, but it would be great to have someone who comes from that background, who understands the context. It would be great to have those people in my place, right, when it comes to this specific topic. I think this is really valuable, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
It even reminds me from very recent discussion about Greenland, because when I've been to the museum in Nuuk, there was exposition about how indigenous people have very little influence on this academic research about their own cultures.
This is so heartbreaking.
So to me, this is it. Like I can describe it. I can maybe like put the mythology, like this is about maybe death. This is about life. This is about certain rituals. So I can classify them. This is what I understood this in Greenland. I can classify this knowledge, but I'm still missing something because it's still not my own experience. And I just wish that in terms of archaeology and anthropology in the humanities, that there would be a place for whoever is concerned by those studies, because in the end of the day, this is the story, first of all, about them, but this makes the culture of everybody just even richer in context and just
And more true.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so that would be, I like my thing would be, I know archaeology, anthropology, it's one of the maybe not really appreciated science. It's humanities. But yeah, please come to us, and like we will all benefit from that.
We want your story from you. We want to hear it
Exactly.
from you. Basically.
Exactly.
I love it. Thank you so much.
So, to summarize, the things that make Poland still feel like home are small traditions like warm beer with syrup in winter, the currency which remains Polish despite the surrounding Eurozone, people like Agnieszka, although she is certainly a globally inclined Polish lady just like me, or the fact that no one asks how to spell Monica. They just know it's with a K, even at Starbucks, which, yes, I know, is an American company. However, the part that makes Poland feel like home the most is Babcia, grandma, conversations, dinners at her place, and ordinary moments together taken out of everyday life in Poland.
A taki ładny, ale ja nie wiem, jak go wypuścić, bo on, żeby nie walczył ze mną. Ha? No boi się, ja też bym się bała. Ale ja nie wiem, babcia odejdź, bo chcę go pogonić w tą stronę. Nie, ty go złapiesz? Naprawdę? No właśnie, gryź to może nie ugryzie, ale
Nie, bój się biedny.
boi się. Oj. Bo się zaraz połamie, bo tak się...
No.
A, poleciał. Tak, 12 teraz kościół brzmi. No, tak? Okej. You guys, there is a message in this. Burying the onions so they can rise. That's what just came to my mind, which is why I decided to record a little bit. Just helping Grandma plant onions. Beautiful message. They have to die so they can rise. Bigger, better, stronger, and edible. And the fact that the church bell is singing right now just affirms my message. Wow. Done. Buried in the ground. Love it. You guys have been here for just under an hour, and I think I've just discovered my grandma's secret of longevity and health. My 80-year-old grandma. This is hard work. I'm serious. And I didn't even do much. I don't know how she does it. Just finished the potatoes. Potato update. Grandma is a tough client. She kept complaining about the holes I was making for the potatoes, and apparently I was making them in the wrong places, but we have finished, so let's hope they grow, the potatoes grow. And that's that really. Potatoes done. We're done with the work. Actually today we shouldn't really work because it's the 1st of May, Majówka, which is a holiday in Poland, so people just gather with their families, do picnics and stuff like that, which is really cute. But you know, to me it wasn't really work, it was workout. For someone who sits on her butt all the time, I know it's really unhealthy. Not all the time, but like I lead such a sedentary lifestyle, really, for the most part. You know, working remotely, not even having to leave the house to work remotely, except when I travel. That's when I move around a bit more. You know, I was just happy that we could do something in the garden. It helps. I need to move a lot more. So yes, we are done. It's the 1st of May. I would tell you more, but I can't remember. Let me do some research and come back to you about what this holiday is really about. Yeah.
Mieli tych misów, jak to nazywali, bogatych, co wykorzystywali biednych. Parobki, nie parobki już tam służyli. No to jak tego, no to zaczęli już przymuszać się do tych pochodów.
A, no bo pochody były.
Szli polscy partie robotnicze.
A.
No, takie hasła różne. W szkole byłam wtedy, to jeszcze kleiłam te litery.
O matko.
I w pochodzie było.
Czyli 1 maja zawsze były pochody.
No, były i to duże pochody. W Koszalinie to ze 3 godziny chyba szli, bo to dużo ludzi.
Majówka is the early May holiday in Poland, centered around the 1st of May, and as Babcia was reminding me, it started as International Workers' Day. Back in the day, during communist times, when Poland was under Soviet influence, there were parades with people, even children, preparing banners and taking part. Attendance was very much expected. Babcia remembers that those marches would last for hours. They would walk and walk and walk. It all pretty much disappeared after 1989, when communism ended in Poland. Today, Majówka is something completely different, a bank holiday, a time to slow down, spend time with family and friends, and simply enjoy life. I hope you enjoyed this Poland vlog. See you in the next video, which will most likely address your question: should mixed-race Americans still consider visiting Europe in 2026? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to stay connected beyond YouTube, join the Afropean Monica email list. You'll find the link in the video or channel description.